What if I told you that the numbers you're chasing are already chasing you? That hidden within the folds of divine wisdom, in the very prayer whispered by Solomon under a veil of stars, lies the code to your breakthrough. You see, the world believes in odds, but the soul believes in order, divine order. And when Solomon spoke his prayer into the night, he wasn't begging, he was aligning, he wasn't asking, he was claiming. This isn't about luck. Luck is random. Divine law is precise. The winning numbers do not appear by accident. They are drawn to the one who vibrates in harmony with them. Can you believe it? The very digits you crave are already written on the scrolls of the unseen. All that is required is permission to receive. The lost prayer of Solomon wasn't a formula, it was a frequency tuned to abundance, to divine flow, to spiritual certainty. And when you tune your heart to that frequency, miracles are not delayed, they are delivered. Divine timing is perfect. You receive when you're ready. Why do some prayers seem to be answered instantly, while others float unanswered for weeks, months, even years? Is it punishment, delay, or divine design? The truth is, divine timing is never early, never late, it is always precise. The universe doesn't operate on panic. It operates on pattern, on alignment, on law. And the moment you truly align in thought, word, and vibration, what you've been seeking begins seeking you. Think about a rosebud. You can't force it to bloom by shouting at it. You can't pry the petals open and demand beauty to appear on your schedule. If you try, you'll destroy it. The same is true with manifestations. They bloom when the inner soil is ready, when fear has been uprooted and faith has taken root. People ask, why haven't I received my miracle yet? I've done the affirmations, the visualizing, the scripting, where is it? But the higher law responds not to outer actions, it responds to readiness. It sees your vibration, not your frustration. Here's a secret most never understand. Delays are not denials, they are divine preparations. Sometimes the very thing you desire would overwhelm you if it arrived too soon. Imagine receiving tomorrow's winning numbers, without the consciousness to handle wealth, responsibility, and visibility. It wouldn't be a blessing, it would become a burden. So spirit waits until your cup is strong enough to hold what you've asked for. That's why Florence Scovel Shinn said, nothing stands between man and his highest good but doubt and fear. Divine timing isn't withholding, it's protecting. It's nurturing. It's allowing you time to step into the identity that can carry the weight of what you're calling in. Look back on your life. How many times did you want something desperately, only to realize later that the delay was the greatest blessing of all? Maybe it gave you time to heal. Maybe it introduced you to someone better. Maybe it saved you from a deed where you couldn't yet see. What looked like silence was actually strategy, divine intelligence, rearranging the universe in your favor. You are not on man's clock. You are on Spirit's calendar. And Spirit doesn't rush creation, it perfects it. But here's where it gets really mystical. The moment you feel ready, the outer world begins to shift. Readiness isn't mental, it's energetic. It's when you can feel the thing you desire as if it's already yours. No panic, no begging, no wondering how, just calm, powerful expectation. Are you vibrating from lack or from trust? Are you saying, why isn't it here yet? Or I know it's on its way, nothing can stop it. That's the difference between waiting and aligning. Remember, divine timing doesn't respond to time, it responds to truth. The truth of who you are, the truth of what you believe you deserve, the truth of how you see the world as abundant or as withholding. The gate opens when the student is ready, not when the student is desperate. And when you shift from asking when to declaring now, the game changes. You become magnetic. You stop chasing and start attracting. You step into what Florence called the invisible supply, a realm where all things already exist and are simply awaiting your claim. So instead of asking, why haven't I received it? Ask, who must I become to receive it? What belief must I release? What truth must I finally accept? Because when your inner world is aligned with the vibration of already done, The outer world has no choice but to match it. That is law, that is truth, that is divine timing in action. Your job is not to rush the process, your job is to trust it. Your desire was planted for a reason, because it's already yours in another realm. Divine timing is just the vehicle to carry it from the unseen into the seen. So let the rosebud bloom in its own time. Speak your word, hold the vision, walk in readiness, and the universe will not fail you. It cannot, it never has, and it never will. Your word is a seed what you speak. You invite words are not mere sounds. They are spells, sacred instruments of creation, vibration, and manifestation. Every time you open your mouth, you plant a seed into the field of the unseen, and that seed, no matter how small, begins to take root and grow. You may think, it's just a sentence, just an expression, just a passing complaint. But the universe doesn't know the difference between a joke and a prophecy. Every word spoken with emotion carries weight. It is law in motion. When you say, I can never catch a break, the law agrees, granted. When you say, everything works out for me, the law agrees again, granted. Why? Because your word is not passive, it is a decree. You are the ruler of your reality, and your tongue is the scepter. People wonder why they're stuck in cycles of lack, confusion, and limitation. But they don't realize they've been declaring it every day without knowing it, saying things like, I'm always broke. I never win anything. This is just my luck. Can you feel the vibration of those words? Heavy, restrictive, defeated, and yet we repeat them out of habit, not knowing we are scripting our own future sentence by sentence, story by story. You don't get what you want, you get what you speak with conviction. You speak the future into form. Your word draws to you the people, places, ideas, and outcomes that match its frequency. Want to change your life? Change your language. Affirmations aren't empty phrases, they are divine commands. When you say, I am abundant, even when your bank account says otherwise, you are shifting the script. You are rejecting the illusion of lack and aligning with the truth of spiritual wealth. But here's the secret. It's not just the words, it's the feeling behind them. Words backed by faith are atomic. They break through resistance, dissolve doubt, and activate divine order. When your heart believes what your mouth is saying, mountains move. Try saying this aloud right now and feel it in your bones. Everything I desire is already on its way. My words open the door, and the universe delivers. Do you feel the shift? That's the power of aligned speech. You are not begging the universe, you are partnering with it, co-creating, collaborating, speaking not from fear, but from knowing. Look at nature. Every seed you plant produces after its kind. Apple seeds don't grow oranges. And words of doubt don't produce miracles. What you plant, you harvest. So if you want a different outcome, plant different words. Words of peace create peaceful surroundings. Words of love attract loving relationships. Words of success call forth winning numbers, open doors, and golden opportunities. But be warned, the law works both ways. It is impersonal, but perfectly precise. It doesn't reward good intentions, it reflects belief. If you speak doom with enough conviction, you'll get doom. But if you dare to speak glory, even in the darkest hour, you invite miracles into your story. That's why you must become a guardian of your speech. Watch every phrase, listen to yourself. Are you speaking defeat out of habit? Are you telling old stories that no longer serve the vision you're trying to create? Change your word, and you'll change your world. Say this aloud, even if your current reality contradicts it. Divine order governs my life. Every word I speak is a step toward my highest good. That's not pretending, that's prophesying. That's speaking from the truth of the spirit, not the evidence of the senses. You were never meant to repeat the old, you were born to declare the new. Every morning you wake up, you are given the microphone of creation. What will you speak into existence today? Chaos or clarity? Scarcity or abundance? Delay or destiny? It begins with the word. It always has. In the beginning was the word, and the word became form. Speak wisely, speak deliberately, speak beautifully, because your words are seeds and harvest day is coming. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the seen. Faith is not a wish. It is not a blind hope. It is spiritual sight, the ability to see the unseen and act as if it were already here. Faith is the bridge, the golden path that carries your desire from the world of spirit into the realm of form. Without faith, your dream remains suspended in the invisible, floating, waiting, dormant. But the moment you believe, truly believe, it begins to descend. It crosses over the bridge you built with your certainty, your expectation, your knowing. People often say, "I'll believe it when I see it." But the law works in reverse. You'll see it when you believe it. That's not poetic, that's cosmic law. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. If you already had the winning numbers in your hand, would you worry? No, you'd relax. You'd laugh, you'd feel powerful, and that feeling, that inner state of "I already have it," is faith in action. Faith is not hoping something will happen. It's knowing it already has in the spiritual realm and simply walking toward its manifestation with full trust. Faith doesn't tremble in the face of appearances. Faith smiles at the storm and says, "I know who I am, and I know what's mine." Appearances may scream lack, but faith whispers, "This is temporary." The senses may shout impossible, but faith replies with the divine, "Nothing is impossible." When you operate in faith, you step into divine timing, divine order, and divine supply. You stop trying to force the outcome. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer plead, you declare. Why? Because you've already received it in the invisible. Faith speaks in the present tense. It doesn't say, "I hope to be wealthy." It says, "I am wealthy now, even if my bank account has not yet caught up." It doesn't say, "I'll win one day." It says, "My winning is inevitable, it is written, and I claim it." But let me tell you, faith must be practiced. It's like a muscle. If you only believe when things are easy, that's not faith, that's convenience. True faith stands strong in the silence. It remains unshaken when the evidence says no. It keeps walking when the bridge is still invisible under your feet. Have you ever planted a seed and then dug it up every hour to check if it sprouted? Of course not. You plant it, water it, and trust it will bloom. That's faith. You speak the word, align with the vision, and then release it into divine hands. No fear, no worry, no panic. Just trust. Faith doesn't beg, it commands. It doesn't negotiate with fear, it dismisses it. It doesn't wait for perfect conditions, it creates them. But here's the beauty. The moment you activate true faith, the universe begins to rearrange itself on your behalf. Doors open, people show up, ideas spark, synchronicities unfold. Why? Because your belief becomes the signal that draws your desire across the bridge of the unseen into the physical world. You must protect your faith the way a flame protects itself from the wind. Don't let outside noise blow it out. Don't let delay make you doubt. Don't let fear rewrite your script. Speak this instead. I walk by faith, not by sight. What is mine is already on the way. I cross the bridge with joy. Because faith and fear cannot live in the same house. One will evict the other. Which one have you been hosting? So many people stand on the edge of their dreams, paralyzed by uncertainty. They wait for proof before they believe, but that's not how spiritual law works. You must believe first, and then the proof arrives. That is faith. That is your bridge. Say this aloud now. I do not wait for signs. I am the sign. I do not chase evidence. I walk in knowing. My faith is my bridge, and I cross it with confidence. The invisible is more real than you think. It holds everything you've asked for. But it takes faith to reach into that realm and pull it into this one. So build your bridge with bold words, with fearless thoughts, with divine certainty. Walk across it daily. Refuse to look down, and soon, what once seemed invisible will be standing right in front of you. Vibration precedes manifestation. Feel first. Receive next. Everything you see, touch, and experience is the result of a vibration made visible. Nothing enters your life until it first exists in your energy field. You are not a magnet for what you want, you are a magnet for what you feel. Vibration comes first always. Manifestation simply follows it like a loyal shadow. You can't fake vibration. You can say all the right words, do all the right rituals, write the vision boards, repeat the affirmations, but if the feeling doesn't match the words, the universe reads your vibration, not your vocabulary. It doesn't respond to noise, it responds to frequency. So ask yourself, what do I truly feel when I think about the thing I want? Do I feel ease, joy, power, peace? Or do I feel fear, urgency, doubt, unworthiness? Be honest, because those feelings are the engine pulling your experiences toward you. You say you want abundance, but are you vibrating from trust or tension? You say you want love, but are you vibrating from wholeness or from loneliness? You say you want tomorrow's winning numbers, but are you vibrating from celebration or from desperation? The universe isn't fooled by words spoken with shaky energy. It delivers based on the signal you're broadcasting, not what you're pretending to believe. Your feeling tone is your true prayer. It's your order slip to the infinite. Vibration is the language of creation. Everything in the universe, from stars to songs, from wealth to well-being, responds to the frequency you're holding. That's why some people seem to effortlessly attract opportunities. It's not luck, it's vibrational alignment. They are simply tuned in to the reality they desire, and life mirrors it back. It's just like a radio. You can't tune in to 98.5 FM and expect to hear what's playing on 106.7, no matter how badly you want it. The frequency must match the signal, and when your emotional frequency matches your desired outcome, that outcome becomes unavoidable. So how do you raise your vibration? How do you feel first, before the manifestation arrives? You imagine it, you rehearse it, you embody it, you feel the joy of it in your bones now, not someday now. You say, if I already had it, how would I walk? How would I breathe? What would I no longer fear? And then you step into that version of you, fully, with no apology. This is why Florence Scovel Shinn taught, make your demands upon the infinite with unwavering faith, and act as if you already received it. That's not fantasy, that's law. You must create the vibration of your wish fulfilled, and the universe fills in the rest. And it happens faster than you think. The moment your inner state becomes consistent with your desired outcome, reality begins to rearrange itself, circumstances shift, paths open, coincidences multiply. Why? Because you are no longer reaching from lack, you are receiving from alignment. This is the true work, the invisible work. Not chasing, not forcing, not overthinking, but tuning your vibration like an instrument until you are humming with the very outcome you once thought was out of reach. Say it now. I vibrate in harmony with my highest good. I feel wealth, I feel peace, I feel joy, and so it must come. You do not wait to feel good until the thing arrives. You feel good so that the thing arrives. That is the formula. Feel first, receive next. Vibration before manifestation. Inner alignment before outer evidence. This is why some people visualize every day and nothing changes, because they are imagining the thing while still doubting it emotionally. But when the emotion aligns, the whole universe shifts its weight to deliver. So stop asking, where is it? And start declaring, it's already mine. Stop wondering when it will come and start preparing like it's already on the way. Because when your energy says why yes, manifestation cannot say no. Feel rich now, feel safe now, feel lucky now, feel whole now. Don't wait, don't delay. This is the secret. Vibration is not a reaction, it is a choice. And once you choose it consistently, the manifestation becomes a reflection. As within, so without. As you vibrate, so you receive. There is no lack in the divine, only misalignment. Lack is a lie. It is an illusion created by the senses and believed by the mind. In the realm of the divine, there is no shortage, no limitation, no delay, no denial. Everything you could ever want, every opportunity, every dollar, every connection, Every answer already exists in infinite supply. So if you're not seeing it, it's not because it doesn't exist, it's because something in your frequency is not yet aligned with it. Lack is never outside of you. It's not in the economy. It's not in the market. It's not in your boss, your background, or your bank account. Lack shows up when your inner world is vibrating from fear, doubt, or unworthiness. Why are some people surrounded by wealth, love, and ease while others, with the same tools and knowledge, struggle and strain? It's not random. It's alignment. One person walks in the awareness of divine abundance. The other walks in the shadow of separation. Same world, different vibration. You see, divine supply is like electricity, always flowing, always present, always available. But if your switch is off, the light won't shine, not because the power is gone, but because you've blocked the connection. People say, I guess it's not meant for me. No, it is meant for you, but the divine cannot override your free will. It cannot force its gifts upon you. It waits patiently, lovingly for you to come into agreement with it. Say this aloud and watch how it shifts you. There is no lack in my life, only the illusion of it. I am connected to the source of infinite supply, and I align with it now. The problem is, most people are trained to believe in limits. They believe blessings are rare, that money is hard, that love must be earned, that success belongs to others. But these are man-made beliefs, not spiritual truth. And your beliefs are the thermostat of your life. They determine what you allow in and what you unconsciously push away. Have you ever noticed that some people can lose it all and somehow attract it back tenfold within months? Why? Because they never let go of the consciousness of abundance. Their vibration didn't collapse, even when their circumstances did. And because of that, they reconnected to the current of divine supply. There is no limit in divine mind. The same source that created galaxies, oceans, stars, and systems also created your desire, and it does not tease. If the desire is real, so is its fulfillment. But you must remove the static, the thoughts of not enough, the speech of I can't, the habits of settling, the emotions of fear. All of it blocks the flow. This is what Florence Scovel Shinn meant when she said, man must prepare for the thing he has asked for, even though there is no sign of it in sight. You prepare not because you're begging, but because you believe. You know the supply exists and you act as one who expects to receive. Lack whispers, you'll never have enough. But your spirit roars, everything I need is already mine. Lack says, this is all there is. But truth says, what I see is only a fraction of what's coming. You were never meant to struggle for scraps. You were born to dine at the table of divine provision. The universe is not stingy. Spirit is not limited. The only thing limited is our thinking. Shift your focus. Instead of saying, why don't I have it yet? Ask, where am I out of alignment with the version of me who already has it? Because that version of you is real. It already exists, abundant, radiant, magnetic, blessed, but you must become it to receive what it carries. Breathe this truth into your bones. The supply I seek is already seeking me. There is no lack, only divine timing. I open my hands, I open my heart, I open the floodgates of receiving. The supply never runs out. The warehouse of heaven doesn't close. It is stocked, it is ready, and it is waiting for your alignment, not your begging, not your worry, not your stress, but your alignment. So stand tall, speak wealth. Expect miracles, think abundance, walk in power, not because you're forcing life, but because you're finally flowing with it. The winning numbers already exist. Align and receive the numbers you seek are not hiding. They're not locked in some secret vault. They're not being withheld by the universe. They already exist. Right now, this very moment, they are floating in the field of infinite possibility, waiting for someone to match their frequency. The question isn't where they are. The question is, are you ready to receive them? The winning numbers are not a mystery to the infinite mind. They are as known, as fixed, as real as the sunrise. You don't need to chase them. You don't need to force them. You need only one thing, alignment, because in the spiritual realm, Receiving doesn't come by effort, it comes by vibration. Can you grasp the magnitude of that? You're not meant to struggle. You're meant to tune in like a radio dial, clicking into the exact frequency of your desire. The signal is already broadcasting. But are you set to the right station? Imagine the version of you who already has the winning ticket. What do they feel? Joy, certainty, expectancy, lightness, yes. Now ask yourself honestly, is that how you're feeling now? Or are you vibrating with fear, doubt, disbelief, or anxiety? Because that's the real block. Not the numbers, not fate, not bad luck, but misalignment. The divine doesn't say, you're not good enough. The divine says, are you willing to believe in something bigger than what you see? It's not about being worthy. You were already declared worthy at birth. It's about being ready, ready in vibration, ready in thought, ready in heart. The numbers exist in the same way the next breath exists, inevitable, available, and already created. It's not about waiting for them to appear. It's about stepping into the consciousness that says, of course. Why not me? Why not now? But here's where people block their good. They think it's random. They think it's out of their control, so they play but with doubt. They act but from fear, and then they wonder why it doesn't show up. Because action without alignment is like trying to catch the wind with closed hands. You don't receive what you want, you receive what you believe is already yours. That's alignment. That's the work. Not chasing numbers, not praying from panic, but speaking from power, declaring from faith. Feeling as though the celebration has already begun. Say this aloud and feel the shift within you. The winning numbers are already chosen. I align with their vibration. I receive with grace. I receive with ease. I receive now. This is not fantasy, this is law. Spiritual law is not chaos. It is exact. Just like gravity doesn't forget, divine order doesn't fail. The moment your vibration matches the outcome must respond. It has no choice. It's like a magnet. If the metal is pure, it moves easily toward the pole. But if it's covered in dust, doubt, fear, resentment, disbelief, the connection weakens. The signal gets fuzzy. The opportunity gets delayed. But the numbers, they never left. You clean the dust by shifting your focus. Stop asking, will it happen? Start saying, it's already mine. Stop saying, I never win. Start declaring, I always receive what is divinely mine. These are not just words, they are energetic activations. Your speech is the bridge between thought and manifestation. The winning numbers are not out of reach, they are out of resistance. You're not being tested, you're being invited. The moment you release the tension and step into the knowing, you become a match for the very thing you were chasing. Imagine the shift. No more begging, no more hoping, just receiving, like turning the knob on a safe you already know the code to. That's the energy of alignment. That's what unlocks miracles. You are not at the mercy of chance. You are the vessel of divine intelligence, and nothing is hidden from the one who walks in truth. The winning numbers don't just belong to someone else. They are not someone else's destiny. They are yours if you can align and receive. So breathe it in now. I no longer search, I synchronize. I no longer reach, I receive. The winning numbers are already mine in the mind of God, and I claim them now. The only thing that ever stood between you and your highest good was a misaligned thought, but now that thought is changing. Now you're tuning in, and when you align, the numbers appear, because they always existed, because they were always yours, because spirit never misses.